Hi, welcome to Matthews.
Hello.
What can I help you with today?
Let's see, I'm going to take a half pound of the hazelnut bark, please.
Oh, good choice. Now, will this be for you?
It will actually be for my mother.
Oh, she'll love it. Have you been into Matthews before?
This is my first time.
Well, it won't be your last time. Let's get you a half pound. It's a little big. We'll just trim this off right here. Good. And now we're going to measure it. Excellent. Half pound exactly. Just bag it up. And that would be $3.95. Oh, and this piece here, it fell on the floor. We'll put it in the bag. Oh, this piece fell on the floor. Oh, another piece fell on the floor. I have to put it in the bag. This piece fell on the floor. I'll just put it in the bag. This piece fell on the floor. I need to put it in the bag.
This is Erwan Damelin reporting from Wolfpack State Superior Court for Télé-Québec. Ici Erwan Damelin en reportage du tribunal de grande instance Wolfpack pour Télé-Québec. We are following the criminal case of the state versus Robert Wood. Nous suivons l'affaire criminelle de l'État contre Robert Wood. In this criminal case, a sales clerk is accused of embezzling chocolate candy belonging to the owner of Matthews Chocolate. Dans cette affaire criminelle, un vendeur est accusé de s'être approprié des chocolats appartenant au propriétaire de la chocolaterie Chocolat Mathieu. The presiding judge, George E. Kelly III, is known as a tough, no-nonsense judge. Le président du tribunal, George E. Kelly III, est réputé pour sa sévérité. Although the dollar amount is not large, there has been strong public interest in Quebec and throughout the internet in this most unusual criminal case. Bien que le montant en dollars ne soit pas élevé, le public au Canada et parmi l'Internet a développé un grand intérêt à cette affaire criminelle très inhabituelle. The public wants to know if the jury in its verdict will convict for stealing chocolates. Le public se demande si les jurés, dans leur verdict, vont le déclarer coupable d'un vol de chocolat. We will share with you all developments in this unusual case. Erwan Damelin for Télé-Québec. Nous vous tiendrons informés du déroulement de cette affaire inhabituelle. Erwan Damelin pour Télé-Québec.
All rise. Oh yay, oh yay, oh yay. Superior Court for the State of Wolfpack is open for the regular dispatch of business. The Honorable Judge George E. Kelly III, present and presiding. Draw near and be attentive.
Please be seated. The first order of business is selection of the jury to hear this case. Now you may be wondering how it is you were called down to the courthouse today. The jury clerk uses 3 lists to assemble jurors. First, a list of licensed drivers in this county. Second, a list of taxpayers. And third, a list of registered voters. Now in a moment, the clerk will call the names of the jurors who will be called to sit in the box to hear this case. Listen carefully. When you hear your name called, come forward and sit in the seat that the bailiff directs you to. Madam Clerk?
When I call your name, please come forward and sit in the numbered seat. Number 1, Andrew Nolan. Number 2, Jean Weatherford. Number 3, Myron Casey. Number 4, Nancy Hall. Number 5, Robin McDavid. Number 6, Kelly Taylor. Number 7, Valentina Korinska. Number 8, Olga Samarski. Number 9, Francesca Versieles Zera. Number 10, Leslie Crawford. Number 11, Siddharth Parbuskanar. Number 12, Arthur Ernest. The alternates, Bernice Law and Omar Assad.
Juries with the state.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I am Donna Rossi, and I am representing the state in this case. I am your elected district attorney, and as such, it is the responsibility of my office to bring criminal cases to trial. With me at the table is my associate district attorney, Miss Abby Davis. Seated with us at the table is Miss Judy Matthews. She is the owner of Matthews Chocolates in Hillsborough. At the opposite table is our defense attorney, Brian Harble, and his co-counsel, Mr. Ben Kaufman. They are seated with Mr. Robert Wood, who was an employee of Miss Matthews at Matthews Chocolate. Does anyone in our jury know any of the DAs? Does anyone in our jury know any of our defense counsel? Does anyone on the jury know Miss Matthews? Does anyone on the jury know or familiar with Mr. Robert Wood? Yes, how do you know Mr. Wood?
Well, I have been in the chocolate shop several times. Mr. Wood has helped me. He gives great advice about all of the chocolate. He is a very nice man, and he has been helping me for several years. I really like and trust Mr. Wood.
Do you believe that you can be fair and impartial serving on this jury?
I just don't know for sure. He's such a nice man.
Your Honor.
Ms. Crawford, you are excused with the thanks of the court. Any jurors that is excused should report to the jury clerk in the jury lounge for a letter to your employer if you need that. Madam Clerk, please call a replacement juror.
Clayton Henderson to juror spot number 10.
This case is about the larceny of chocolate. The stealing of little pieces of chocolate over a long period of time by a long-time employee of Matthews Chocolates. Do any members of the jury feel they may have a problem finding someone guilty of being a thief should the evidence substantiate such a verdict?
I'm not so sure about sending a man to prison just for stealing chocolate.
Your Honor.
Mr. Ernest, you are excused. Please check with the jury clerk. Madam Clerk, please call a replacement juror.
Patrick Sullivan to juror spot number 12.
Do you believe that you can be fair and impartial sitting on this jury?
Yes.
Now, all jurors, do you believe that you can be fair and impartial in reaching a decision?
Your Honor, the state is satisfied with this panel.
The jury was with the defendant.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, my name is Brian Harple. Do any of you know me? My partner here is Ben Kaufman. Do any of you know Mr. Kaufman? Yes, sir.
Attorney Kaufman handled a traffic violation for me 3 years ago. He did a real good job. He represented me well.
Donna? Do you believe that you can listen to both sides and be fair?
I can be fair and listen.
Can all of you see me clearly? Can all of you hear me clearly? Ladies and gentlemen, can you decide this case based on the evidence? Can you all remember that there are two sides to any story? And can you keep an open mind until it's time to deliberate? Your Honor, we're pleased with this panel.
Madam Clerk, will you impanel the jury, please?
Please stand. Raise your right hand. Do you promise to listen attentively, weigh the testimony, measure the evidence, follow the instruction of the judge? Say, I will.
I will. May be seated. State, you may call your first witness.
The state calls to the stand Miss Judy Matthews.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you?
I do.
Miss Matthews, what do you do for a living?
I own and operate Matthews Chocolates in Hillsborough. We make gourmet chocolates for all occasions.
How long would you say you've been in business?
For over 25 years.
How do you know the defendant, Mr. Robert Woods?
Oh, Robert came to work for me from the very opening of the store.
Is Mr. Wood a chocolatier?
Well, Robert has made chocolates for many years, but he has no formal chocolate training. I have trained him. I am a trained chocolatier. But Robert does know what he's doing with chocolate because he's a quick learner and he's very good with the customers.
Now, what do you mean when you say that Robert Wood is good with people?
Well, Robert goes out of his way, I will say, to be very helpful to all the customers. He likes to help the customers find that special chocolate for whatever special occasion they have.
Have you had any problems recently with Mr. Wood?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I recently saw Robert ringing up a sale for a customer, weighing the chocolate, wrapping it, and then handing it to the customer, but then he did something very strange. I heard him start to mutter about some of the chocolate falling on the floor and how he needed to put it aside, and then I actually saw him taking chocolate and putting it in that black bag of his.
And how do you know this happened?
I saw him with my own eyes.
Did you get permission from Mr. Wood to set aside any candy?
No, never. That candy was my property. He had no right to my chocolate.
Have you any doubt in your mind as to what was going on?
No, I caught him red-handed.
No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
The defendant may cross-examine.
Was there ever any money missing from the till?
No, absolutely not. There's never been any question of missing money. Robert Wood never took any money.
In your shop, is it a practice to give out samples of chocolate?
Oh, we give out samples all the time, especially when we're introducing some new candies. Sampling of chocolate is an industry-wide practice.
Do you know what Robert Wood did with the chocolate pieces?
Oh, I know what he did. Everybody knows what he did. People talked about what Robert would do with that candy every year.
Now, how did you find out what was happening?
My customers told me. They told me. They complimented me. They thought that what Robert was doing was a wonderful idea. You know, claptrap like that.
And what exactly did Robert Wood do with the chocolate?
Well, every December, Robert would dye his hair and his beard snow white, and he would put on a Santa suit, and he would go to the local rest homes, and he would take my chocolate.
Have you been a good girl? And Miss Becky, have you been good? You deserve some Christmas chocolate. Oh, here, sweetheart. There you go. Oh, that's one a big one. Oh, yes. And Miss Becky, have you been good? Oh, wonderful. Miss Becky, I want to have any chocolate. You have a nice chocolate. Here's one for you, sweetheart. Oh, that's good. And now, how about some sugar from my two girls? Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas. Big smile, girls. Oh, yeah. Oh, Merry Christmas. Where's the chocolate? Oh, my Charlie.
And he would take my chocolate, my chocolate to the rest homes and give it out to the Alzheimer's patients.
No further questions of this witness.
No redirect examination.
Your Honor, that will be all the evidence for the state.
And the defendant may now put on its case.
Your Honor, Robert Wood will not be presenting any evidence.
Court will be in recess for 15 minutes. Let me see all counsel in chambers.
Superior Court stands in recess 15 minutes.
The judge is now conferring with the attorneys regarding his instructions concerning the law to be given to the jury. Le président du tribunal est maintenant en train de consulter avec les avocats au sujet de ses instructions concernant la loi à donner au jury.
Superior Court for the state of Wolfpack is once again in session. Come back to order.
It is now time for closing arguments. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that what the lawyers say to you is not evidence in the case, but simply their contentions about what the evidence shows. Please give your attention to the lawyers as they speak to you. The jury is with the state.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have heard that the chocolate in question belonged to Judy Matthews, the owner of Matthews Chocolates. Evidence has also shown that Mr. Robert Wood, a longtime employee of Matthews Chocolates, slowly took chocolate from the shop little by little. He did this without the permission or authority of Judy Matthews. Ladies and gentlemen, this is stealing. It is against the law. Plain and simple.
Based on the evidence, you must deliberate and find yourselves as a unanimous jury of 12 that Robert Wood is a thief. You must find him guilty of a crime of embezzlement, taking property that belonged to his employer, the chocolate shop. Mr. Wood did not have a right to give away this chocolate. He did not have permission to steal. He has violated the law. This is a crime. You must deliberate and find Mr. Wood guilty of embezzlement. You have taken an oath to follow the law.
Thank you. The jury is now with the defendant.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we were in law school, we had to learn a lot of terms. They were Latin terms that I never really expected to be using today in this courtroom. Now, one of these Latin statements is de minimis non curat lex. Now, these four little words mean that the law is not to deal in any trifles. In other words, the legal system is not to deal in something that is of little value or substance or importance. If you'll notice, the state, they didn't put on any evidence as to how much chocolate was actually missing. I mean, really, what was the value on the chocolate? $5? $10? How much chocolate was actually taken to the seniors at that resident's home? If you recall, Mrs. Matthews also said that the whole town was talking about that chocolate that was taken to the seniors. People who might not have a lot of visitation, even from their family. Giving away chocolate was a tremendous benefit to the shop. Money just can't buy that type of support for a chocolate shop. Now, Robert Wood, he was going out on his own time so that he could just spread a little bit of joy. Joy to people who might not necessarily have joy during this Christmas season. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my client here, Robert Wood, he's got great people skills. The customers liked him. The customers respected him. You heard as much from Miss Matthews in her own words. Robert Wood was a genuine asset to that chocolate shop. So, you've heard all of the evidence, but don't you feel like something's missing? I mean, what were you not told today? The prosecution, they're not seeking any monetary damages, so what is the real motivation of this shop owner? Why is she seeking a criminal action against Robert Wood? No, seriously, why is she actually seeking a conviction? Well, I know the answer, and so does Ms. Matthews. It's actually as plain as the nose on her sour, grinchy face. Judy Matthews is terrified of Robert Wood. She was scared that this personable, well-liked guy, that he was going to go out, he was going to open up his own chocolate shop in direct competition with Matthews Chocolates.
That's a lie!
And he was going to take that loyal customer base with him. Now that's the underlying truth in this case. So now that you've heard all the evidence, it's time to make things right. Robert Wood is not a criminal. He did not violate the spirit of the law. All he did, God love him, all this man did was he brought a little bit of joy, a little happiness into the lives of people who didn't have anything else.
Thank you, counsel. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant has been charged with embezzlement. In order to find the defendant guilty of embezzlement, you must find three things beyond a reasonable doubt. First, the defendant took the property of his employer. And number two, he did not have the employer's permission when he did so. And number three, he converted the property to his own use. In order to find the defendant guilty, you must find beyond a reasonable doubt each of these three things. If you have a reasonable doubt about one or more of these things, you must find the defendant not guilty. I instruct you that a reasonable doubt is a real doubt, not a vain or fanciful doubt, arising out of the evidence or the lack of evidence, as the case may be. I further instruct you that the defendant has the right not to testify, and his silence cannot be considered as evidence against him. You'll now retire to begin deliberating your verdict. The first thing you will do is select a foreman to guide you in your deliberations. When you have reached a unanimous verdict, please have your foreman knock on the jury door. You'll be conducted back into the courtroom. The jury may now retire. Mr. Bailiff, please escort the jury to the jury room. Court will be in recess.
Superior Court stands in recess.
Now that you have elected me jury foreperson, would you like to vote or deliberate?
Well, the decision seems pretty simple. He did take the chocolate that wasn't his.
That just doesn't seem right. Mrs. Matthews' chocolate shop received all that goodwill and support from the community for what he did.
Are we here to follow the law or make an exception?
Well, if Robert Wood's found guilty by us, he could go to jail or even prison.
But we have to do what's right.
Look, I've been to that candy shop. I'm diabetic. They don't even have diabetic candy there. I think that she's just being spiteful to that poor old Mr. Wood.
It's just plain wrong to incarcerate someone wanting to spread a little Christmas joy.
Where's your Christmas spirit? Don't be such a Scrooge.
Is this case about holiday joy or actually following the law like the judge instructed us?
But look, everyone, sometimes the law is wrong. Just plain wrong. I mean, everybody knows it.
I agree.
We are required to follow the law and do what is right.
Bull.
Robert Wood is the chocolate Robin Hood.
All right, it's time to take a vote. On the yellow paper in front of you, please write guilty or not guilty. Turn the paper over and pass it to me. We have not guilty, 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 not guilty, 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 not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. We have a hung jury.
Counsel, we do not have a verdict. Bring the jury back in. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, as jurors, you have a duty to consult with each other toward reaching an agreement if you could possibly do so. In the course of deliberations, you should not hesitate to change your opinion if convinced it's erroneous. However, no juror should surrender his honest opinion for the mere sake of reaching a verdict. Now, return to the jury room and we re-begin your deliberations. Will be at ease. Members of the jury, who is your foreperson?
I am.
Have you reached a unanimous decision?
We find the defendant guilty as charged.
The crime of embezzlement carries a maximum punishment of 10 years imprisonment. Sentencing will be Monday at 9 a.m. Mr. Bailiff, he's in your custody. Members of the jury, who is your foreperson?
I am.
And have you reached a unanimous verdict?
We find the defendant not guilty.
The defendant is discharged. Charges dismissed.
Thank you, Ben! Oh, guys, well done, well done.
Now that you've heard both sides of the story, it's time for you to choose the best ending. Email your answers to Ron Campbell at ron_campbell@ncsu.edu. Erwan Dominating reporting for Tele-Quebec.